Howdy, howdy, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Today, we're going to be working on improving some enemy AI stuff. So, like the skeletons, especially because he's pretty weak. I've just sort of thrown the AI in there, and you know, yeah. So we're going to be taking a look at the AI, improving it, and as you can see, I've done a little bit of artwork. Well, no, actually, you can just see the bushes. I just started working on the road a bit too, but I can't get that how I want it. So yeah. Bushes. I like how they look. So, we're going to be taking a look at the state machine for the skeleton. Thinking about ways we can make him tougher. Maybe he'll hop around. Howdy, Amelia. Welcome to the stream. Stoked about it. Glad to have you here. So, yeah. So, we'll be taking a look at the AI for this guy. Thinking of ways that we can make him tougher. Let me show you what I mean. So, if we go into this level editor, do the bushes have collision? They do have collision. So you collide with the bushes. Now there's still, nothing's perfect yet. So like there's no layering or anything. And the shadows, it's just sort of thrown in there, but you get the idea. But if I go here, go with these enemies here, and then we just spawn in a bunch of these guys, like right here. And then we play the game. This is not going to be a challenge. So let me pull out the mage, well not mage, the warrior class, which is probably going to be the most common class I would expect. So that's what we're going to be prototyping with. Skelly can block attacks for a small time if you... I don't know what that last part of that sentence is. So let's see. So debug class, we switch over to warrior. Do this again. I probably didn't save it. Maybe? Yeah. Okay. So if we could jump into this combat system here. Oh. It's very easy. I could just swing here, and I'm probably not even going to take a damage. And so this is what we want to fix. We want to make this difficult. So we'll be thinking of things like maybe having them surround you more, maybe they lunge out at you, the kind of stuff like that. You can control open to fast open. Well, that's interesting. All right, let's see. So I need to refresh myself on the state machine code because it's been a long time since I've looked at this. So we'll take a look at it together so y'all can get an idea of what we're doing here as well. Oi! Welcome, Minikey. Hi, good streams. I'm glad you think so. Maybe some flanking AI. That's the idea. We're going to look at that. We'll look at the pathfinding that I have. And that's something that'll be interesting as well because I don't have your typical pathfinding. So if I go back into this level editor and put an obstacle in the way, they will... let me reduce the skellies around as well. And there was a lot of lag there, which I was not expecting we'll have to look at that at some point. Not right now. Performance is not an issue at this moment. But if we throw these there, and then we throw in a something to block the way. Oops. And also, I'm on the vanilla vanilla engine, so it means I don't have my undo. All right. Oh, good. Let me reduce this. I need to fix the brush size as well. So yeah. So let me throw an obstacle here. And the skellies will go around it, and they're not using like a star or anything like that. They're using a context-based pathing system, and I didn't save it. Did it not save? Hold on. That's going to be an issue if so. Alright. Yeah, it didn't. They're supposed to save when I start the world. I don't know why it didn't. That's weird. No, not more. Let's get rid of all these. Let's plop down just a couple here. Less than that. Okay. Environment pushes this down. And we'll draw here. Save it, and then we'll go in. All right. So they will actually pathfind around. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. And we'll look at that, how that works and that kind of thing, because we're going to want to tweak that so that they flank around the player. It uses like I said, a context-based system to where it checks the area around it, gets weights for which way it would prefer to go. So if there's a block, it would lower that weight or even cancel it out. And then it picks the best one to go. Maybe you could put this mechanic in the game. And boy, that's what it would do. It breaks into parts and attempts to pull itself together again. Well, we could take a look at it, but yeah. Do epic stuff you have to go. Oh, take it easy, bud. Right. So for the character, this is a character state machine. Everything has it. I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, even the player has it. So they have the idle, idle alert, stunned. Well, idle is enemies don't use it so much. It's more of a reset state. The alert is for when they see something. Stunned is when they take damage, and this is something we'll have to take a look at as well, because the stun state contributes a lot to the difficulty. So the reason I was not taking damage with all those entities earlier was because whenever you hit an entity, they go straight into the stun state. It resets everything about them. They can't attack. So even if they're about to attack, like right there, you can hit them and stop that attack. And so we might have to tweak that a bit so that they can't get, because stun locking is what that is. And the stun locking in this game particularly is particularly good because it stops the attack, it resets timers, all that kind of stuff. Let me just swoop in here. Welcome to the swooper thingy. Then pinned, these are the ability based things. Don't remember what recovery is. I think, not sure. But these are not important. We'll have to look at these for us here, especially that stun state. And then if we open up, let me close all these. And then open up the Skelly one in particular. They have a wander, which is where they just wander around aimlessly. We don't need that one. Pursue is when they chase the player, telegraph, attack. So what I'm thinking we'll do with the Skelly is probably look at flanking first. I really want to fix that stun state. So, stun locking. Let's look at how that works. So whenever, let's open this guy up, they have, and it might be the base class. Give them a 10% chance to stun you. Well, I don't think the player even takes stun. We're not looking at the player getting stunned right now. Because, well, it's a whole different thing. The player doesn't even have knockback. But the way I'm looking at this is how difficult is the game if I never take damage. So if that is one of the main things I consider when I'm doing enemy stuff. Because imagine a player that's really good at dodging, you know? You still want the game to be difficult for them, even if they're just, for some reason, really good at dodging. So I'm more focused about the enemy's behavior than how it interacts with the player. So that's what we're focusing on today. So if we open up, we'll have to find out where we're doing the stun at. It should just be probably in the enemy class. No. Is the tree tile set part of a parallax? Yeah. It's on a parallax layer. This is... Oh, and also, if we have time today, we might even look at implementing some other enemies. Because I don't know how long this will take. I don't expect it to take too long just to tweak some things. And let's see. Here, let's do this. Let's look at how these are being called. That's a state machine. Okay, battle character. And so we have a signal here on our character that's called when we get stunned. And we have to look at how we're getting stunned here. Okay. And if I bet what I'm looking right now is how, like, why the player doesn't get stunned. It's been, keep in mind, it's been about 3 or 4 months. Probably not 3 or 4. Probably closer to 2 or 3 though. Since I've looked at this code. No, keep it complex? No, you don't want to keep it complex. Complex is bad. Oh, well, I don't know. I ain't concerned with it. What we're going to look at. Let's see. Let's call this. Let's get a break here and see what happens when we step through this code. And we'll have to think about how we want to handle that specifically. Like, how do we... That'd be the hitbox, and there's the damage. So whenever a hitbox detects damage hit, it'll call this damage method. And this is does all your knockback and stuff like that. Some enemies should lash out when they die. What do you mean lash out when they die? Now that signal is where we're going to be starting the stun state. So the character FSM. Okay. And the state machine. We don't need that. Wait, yes. Is there... Let's look at the character thing. On the exit state. And by the way, these here, very hacked together. I did that right before the dev log on the abilities things. It's probably not how I'm going to do it overall, but it works. Are we only working on the skellies? We're going to look at the skellies. Skellies are the main things right now. We'll take a look at their stunning. We'll probably add a new ability to them, and then we'll take a look at the sprouts. Sprouts aren't too bad. I'm not too concerned with those. They're not meant to be difficult, but they're not really that easy either. They run away from you. And they can actually be a little tricky. If I take damage quite often from them. You should make an archer variant of the skeleton. That was planned, and I don't know why I haven't gotten to it. But we could do that, yes. We'll probably do that. Skellies is the base enemy to use as test mules. There you go. That's pretty much true. Skellies is pretty much the mules. We might do that, actually, John. Make a skeleton archer. If we have time. I mean, we only have about 2 or 3 hours for these streams, so it goes about really quick. Because when you kill the sprouts, they could make a mini explosion. Well, not sprouts. We could have a different enemy thing for that. And personally, for games, I'm never too big on that because that the thing about that is it slows down stuff like picking up items and stuff. So, like, say an enemy is known to blow up when they die. I have to typically when I kill an enemy playing this game, like for the devlogs and stuff, I will kill an enemy and I'll run at it, I'll collect its stuff, and I'll keep going. And it takes like a second or two. If I know that an enemy is going to blow up, I'm going to have to sit there and wait for the enemy to blow up and then collect its stuff, and that's an extra second or two. That would be annoying. I would expect. Make a sprout have a 2% chance to be an int. Well, the sprouts aren't fully implemented. Actually, they have a behavior I'm wanting to add at some point, to where they run away from you. Well, they shoot at you when you're within range, and if you get too close, they run away from you. And if they get far enough away, then they plant themselves and grow into like a tree type, like another enemy that behaves differently. That was their original planning for them. No, I just haven't gotten around to that yet. Mainly because I don't want to draw it. I have other enemies. Like I have the Spitter is one, I think it's called. And this guy, he was probably one of the original enemies, like probably before the Sprout. I just don't feel like animating that. So, he's pretty cool though. He throws. Let's see if we can throw him in here and see if it'll work. The trouble with that is the map thing. Let's see. Let's open up enemy group panel. Yeah. Let's duplicate this. No, it would require this tile. It would require a bunch of work to get that in there. I need... Well, what I could do. Here, we'll do this. We'll hack this together. If I go here... This is what I did with the fox. I was about to say that. In the devlogs, you'll often notice I'll forget to throw a fox in there or whatever, pet or whatever. And that's because the pets don't generate, like they don't get added into the game. I actually have them in the game and then they move to the player. And if there's no fox in the scene or no pet in the scene, then it's not a pet. I keep forgetting this. And so for this time, and because I need to have the player spawn the pet, but I haven't gotten around to that. I just throw a pet in there. And that's, yeah. I remembered it halfway through the last devlog. And so that's when I did the pet mechanic joke. And that's why the pet's there. But let's go. It's why he's in half the clips. Oh, man. I thought that was funny. What would be cool is if there's a Lich variant that would spawn skeletons and shoot magic at you. We have a Lich planned. We actually drew it. Let's pull that up too. Which is, we won't get around to it this stream, but I have a few mock-ups here. We'll have to see if that's the right one. In an earlier stream, we got to this. Let's see. Yeah, this guy right here. He is going to be a necromancer probably, so he will summon other skeletons. And this is a little book that we tried drawing. This is the one we tried drawing in the stream. I drew this one later on. It looks a little better. And then this guy, he's like he's a very sad skeleton, and he'll sort of wander around. And if you get close to him, he'll run off and try to alert other enemies. That was one idea. Another idea is that, because he's not a skeleton, he's a spirit that wears his own skull, like for when he was alive. And the other idea, I think I like this one better, is that he will duck into the ground, drop his skull, become a shadow that moves around on the ground, pops up and attacks you, and then pops back into the ground and returns to a shadow, and then maybe, dances around you, kind of thing. Let's see. What have I made? Yeah, not much. We're just talking. Plus, I was going over the state machine stuff. Question, if you don't mind, do you ever worry that the action portion of your game is too similar to other games? How do you make sure it's not? I'm not concerned about the action part, because the action part's not the focus of my game. Like, I just need to make the action, in my opinion, I just need to make sure that the action is interesting enough. The main important part of my game is going to be the role playing elements. The when you it's what I'm saying is it's not one of my cores. Like, did I throw that guy in there? There he is. So he'll throw out call trips or whatever. So it's like stupid things. I don't know the way to put this. So it would be like a Duke Nukem game. Duke Nukem's not a story-based game, so they have story, but it's not the main focus. They just need a story enough for being a game. Same way for me, like combat is here, it needs to be interesting, but it's not my big concern. So let's see, but yeah, because I want to focus on characters and role-playing elements and stuff. Can you do a tutorial on the sword you put in this game? I don't intend to do tutorials, at least for a really long time, to be honest. Let's get rid of that. Let's see, let's look at this guy again. Because the Skelly's in. The Skelly's interrupted me. So yeah, he throws out little call trips that you have to dodge. He doesn't like attack you directly. He just sort of, he's meant to gum up the area, and then you can knock these out of the way. And then you can take him out. Someone answered it pretty well. I asked a question on Reddit. Oh. You should also add buff type enemies that buff other enemies around it. We could do that, like the mage type enemy. Anyhow, back to the skeleton. And let's put... I also wish you could do tutorials again. I prefer doing the devlogs, but sorry. Plus, when I was doing tutorials, I didn't have time to make my own games. Like, it was just every week I was doing tutorials. And at the time, I wasn't really interested in making games, so it was fine. But I want to make this game. So I don't have time for tutorials. When is squash and stretch? I'm actually not too keen on squash and stretch. I don't too much care for the style. At least not in the typical way that you would see it. Like, I mean, there is some squash and stretch. Like, I don't overdo it, basically. No, you'd have to see the bow. The bow kind of has it a little bit. But yeah, I don't too much care for it. Hey, first time catching you live, participating in the Game Jam 2020, and really pushing out the Godot content you're putting out there. Well, thank you, bud. Hope it helps. So, back to this guy. We have... we need to look at again how that stun thing worked. Now, I think... State logic applies stop velocity, applies movement, update animation. And the 2020 Game Jam with probably a whole bunch of them. I like your devlogs. You really sound like you know what you're doing. But a tutorial once in a while would be cool still. Yeah. You're a cool person and what you're doing is great. Well, thank you. I'm just not as interested in doing the devlog. I mean the tutorials, to be honest. Plus, it would distract from the game development stuff here. Plus, I don't like doing mixed content on YouTube. I like it's not terribly mixed, but with the devlogs, with the tutorial, with the devlog stuff, I'm getting in a more developer-focused audience. And with the tutorials, it would be Godot focused. And so when I would do a tutorial, it would only be for a small portion of my audience, and I don't think that would be smart channel-wise. I would prefer to do something that would reach a broader audience instead of speaking to only a couple people. Game off. Howdy, Ivan. Welcome to the stream, bud. Let's go back and hit here. No. Let's go. I like here. Let's go back to here. Get back in the signal. Well, I really want to learn about your dialogue system in general. Now, one thing I am thinking of. I don't know who would be interested in it here, but I am thinking of doing a course at some point. Like not anytime soon, probably much later on. But just to sort of help fund the project a little bit. Because I think depending on how I can do it, like if I can do it where like I develop a game and then I can spend probably a few games, and then if I can do it without all the editing that I do. Tutorials ain't seem to be giving up. I don't know what you mean. That might be cool. Maybe. We'll have to see. You made sprites in Spriter. I made sprites in a sprite. And appreciate this that you like the style. I'm happy. I'm actually really happy with the style here lately. I've been not too bad. I mean, pretty good stuff. It's Photoshop okay though? Is it a question? Like, is Photoshop okay to use? I've never used it for art. I can't imagine it would be though. Like I know, I think some people do it, but I don't think I've heard a lot of people talking about how great it is. A-Sprite's perfect in my opinion. Well, not perfect, but it's really good. I like A-Sprite. So we're going to go. Yeah, we're just sort of refreshing on the logic again. I don't think the stun does anything fancy. Okay, all it does is it prevents the character from doing anything. It seems to be the case, yes. Okay, so then here's what happens. The entity takes damage. It gets thrown into a stun state, regardless of what state it is, I think. Hold on. This is important. So it can't be in these two states. And so it clears, and that's just, to prevent that. We can add any new states into there that would have stun prevention. It may be time to test and showcase Pixelrama soon. Maybe. I just found out that you can compile a sprite off of the dev's GitHub page, so I just did that because I can't afford it right now. Yeah, they have it to where you can compile it and use it. What I do because get the free version of base sprite. There you go. All right, so we have to think about this stun locking thing. Make sure I'm not. What the stun state does is it unsets the state that they have, and that would like reset any timers and anything like that. You get it on sale for $1. A-Sprite, that's pretty good. What is this? Wait, what? Oh, good. I broke something. I didn't even change anything. I haven't changed a single line of code. I don't know what that is. Oh, crap. Let's get rid of this guy, though. What was that on the bush? That was the spitter enemy I just deleted. I was showing off an old enemy, like one of the earlier enemies in the game. Okay, so what happens is, like, whenever they get hit, they get thrown into a stun state. Very briefly, but it's enough to unset redo all the timers and stuff like that. Let's look at the states here. What I would like to do let's see. Hi, I'm new here. Welcome to the stream, bud. What I would like to do, there's a couple things we could do. We could throw them back into the state. So say they're preparing to attack. they get thrown into the stun state, and after the stun state, they go back to their previous state. Let's look at if that would break anything. The thing that would concern me for that would be if things get called on a timer. Let me see if that makes sense. Like, say I added a timer that calls the state machine to do a thing. Because usually what I do is I'll tell it, like, if this timer is stopped, then change state. And that's fine. That should be fine. So, like, it's checking things here instead of things being called once. It's like a one-shot firing thing. That should be fine. So let's try this. Where's this at? Let's add a previous state. Wait. We have a previous state here. Oh, and it's already implemented. Good. Okay. So, in the character state machine, when we exit state, get transition. We should have a thing for removing the stun state. Okay, so that's that. Let's try this then. Set state. This should be in the exit and the transition. I don't know why it's here. Let's go previous state. If previous state. What is the default value for previous state? Okay. Just to be safe. It's not likely to ever be null. Like, you'd have to smack an enemy right as the game started. Not even then. Let's just say. Let's go back to it. If we'll just set previous state, because I don't think it could ever be null for the previous state, because it gets set immediately, like in the ready method, just about. Yeah. And then when they get stuck, wait, no. Well, whatever. What are you currently working on? Right now, we're trying to reduce the effectiveness of the stun locking. Also, let me get rid of that border there, that environment thing. Bring them a little closer as well. Let's do 4. Fixing the skellies. They are weak. They's are weak, boys. He still seems to have swung at me. Okay. So the stun lock doesn't seem as powerful. I don't know if that'll break anything. We'll have to do some extensive testing. I'm not going to do that on stream because that would be boring, but I feel like the skeletons need to be buffed a little. Right now they are very easy to kill. That's the whole point of this stream. That is it. Okay. Let's see. Aren't they supposed to be fodder though? They are fodder, but they're too easy. Like just pathetically easy. Like, if I was spawning 50 skeletons, I could defeat all 50 skeletons without taking any hits. Like, guaranteed I could do it. Like, not even a challenge. Okay. Aren't they early game, so it's fine? Yes, but we still don't want them to be that easy. And, like, it'll also, this could trickle down, like, it's a good way to study what makes these enemies so easy. This is also a bit of a design thing we're thinking of. Like, how do we make these enemies more difficult, even for down the road when we add in new stuff? Isn't that why you mix up enemy types? I mean, yeah, but, like, still, we're making these stronger. This is a bit of a learning process. Do they have too much knockback? Oh, that's a good actually. That could probably be it. Let's see how much it is. I think the knockback's fine. That's another thing. That's another thing we're going to test for actually how difficult these guys is. Hello, Mr. Game Endeavor. Well, hello, Ashen. I don't know, Mr. or Mrs. So if I can just stand here and swing at these guys, I think that's too easy. Like not changing weapon direction or anything like that. Give some skellies these range attacks and throw bones at you. Yeah. I'm testing these in isolation though. Like, yes, adding more enemies makes them difficult, but I'm wanting to make these particular ones slightly more interesting. That's sort of the thing we're doing as well. Is for demo purposes, we don't want the skeletons. Jeez, we don't want skellies to be too easy because there's not going to be a lot of enemies in the demo, and so I don't want the combat to be a big yawn fest for the demo. I want it to be interesting enough to be people be like, okay, I can see myself playing this for a much longer because game demo is probably only going to be about 20 minutes long, and so we want exciting combat, and there's only probably going to be 2 or 3 enemy types in that demo. Let's see. How about enemies that pop out of the grass or bushes? We could add that. We're not looking at designing new enemies right now. We're beefing up what we have. Maybe give them a lunge attack that they were randomly do. That's one of the ideas we had earlier. Was to do a lunge attack. Right now we're the stun knocks seems to be fine. We're going to do a flanking thing and see how that looks here in just a second. We're going to be looking at the steering code that I haven't looked at in a really long time. And then we're going to look at a lunge attack if they're still too easy. Why not make skellies able to jump away when you swing at them when they get hit, so they spread out around the player? Maybe. One of the things I want to avoid is inconsistencies. Like I don't want them to randomly take an action. I want them to be predictable but challenging. That's the hardest thing to do. I'm not completely against it. We can test it out and see how that works, and if it feels consistent enough. Like I don't want you to swing at an enemy and due to random chance have a 50% chance of, well, not a 50, but have a random chance to miss simply because they ducked out of the way. That's the kind of thing I want to avoid. If I could make it to where, like even if I could telegraph a thing, like if I could do an animation that they play, and during that animation or any kind of tell, if you attack them during that time, then they can dodge. I'm cool with that. I just don't want to do like a random thing to where if you swing at them randomly, they jump out of the way. Giving them varying speeds on a random, I want to avoid that inconsistency as well, especially like right now. I don't want to get into having to balance all that out. I just soon have them have a consistent speed. We could change it later on, but that's after the demo. The more consistent, the easier it is for me to test stuff. Well, if you hit them and they jump away, it would feel more like self-preservation. Yes, but I want it to be more obvious to the player when they would be doing that. So let's look at the follow code. So the pursue code is what we'll be doing. This is where they follow the player. I think it's the only ones that does it. There's a pursue and a telegraph. Okay, with the skeletons, they don't have their telegraph is when I swing the sword backwards. It might be a little too quick. We'll have to see. You can see how they swing their swords back, and that is essentially the same as a pursuing state. It's just that animation is different. It gets called. I think the only difference is it gets called whenever you enter a state. Let's see. Enter a state, telegraph. It'll do the on telegraph, and then the logic is still the same. We don't have to make it random. You can make it so that they only jump one every third time they get hit. That would not be obvious to the player. And plus, it's really weird. Like just the third time, that's kind of weird. Maybe make the attack a little longer and non-interruptible. It always finishes and they don't get pushed. Make Anna. Oh, I don't want to do the basic attack, non-interruptible. Oh, wait. Not even sure what happens when you attack an attacking enemy. I would imagine the sword would still swing. No, because we fixed that. I think the stun locking we had earlier would have prevented them from attacking there. What about the knockback? Isn't always consistent. Knockback is consistent, I'm pretty sure. I don't really have any sort of randomization right now except for loot drops and stuff. Maybe add a little resistance. I don't know what you mean by that. A few of them get together, sync up their attacks, make it harder. Yes, I would like to do that kind of thing where they sort of teamwork. I don't want to get into that too much right now, though. That seems like something that would take up a lot of development time. But anyhow, the main thing I want to look at is the flanking. So let's see how that would happen. We have apply pursuit velocity. My guess is it's there. If we can run. What is can run? Oh, no. Okay. That would be in here. In the character system, I think. What is can run? I don't remember that. That's a weird one. Okay, it must have been something I started implementing and then never got around to it. It looks like it. Let me make sure. It looks like it has absolutely no use at all. All right, well, never mind. Oops, I closed that. Sometimes it's fun being me because I tend to forget little things like that, and I'll start working on something and then just abandon it, and then like 2 months later, as you can see, it's like what the. I thought it had more use though, to be honest, but whatever. I say like different types of skeletons that have different abilities. Maybe a treasure that come and go every so often around the map that give good stuff. Maybe. Like sometimes they keep coming forward even if hit. That's another inconsistency. Like if just for some at random times they don't get knocked back. Very inconsistent. With me in games, I am a very, very big on consistency. I don't like unexpected behaviors that can't be predicted by the player. Me personally. I mean, it's, not saying it's bad design. It's just me personally. I prefer a skeleton to have a particular behavior, and he does that every time, unless he announces otherwise. I approve of the lack of randomization. Okay, so let's look at this pursuit velocity. Because that's likely to be where we need to be right now. And it's probably an AI. Is that apply pursuit? Yes, okay. So, and this is, it's a desired velocity. This is in case there's no target. Then it'll stop. I do a thing here where I use weak references to store the targets. That's due to targets getting deleted and referencing the wrong things, kind of thing. Seems to fix that. Are you against having different behaviors if you see it with different color, like green skeletons don't experience knockback? Yes, I'm fine with that. So long as the player, I don't like things that the player can't know about. Like, if you had a random skill, like 1 in 5 skellies didn't get knocked back, I didn't like that. But if that skeleton had a different color, then I would be cool with that. So long as the player can see what's happening. Then boy, you're a genius. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you made it. Welcome to the stream, Drake. I think if you have skeletons that do different things, they should be different types of skeletons. What about making yourself weaker by giving some recovery time after attacking? I'm wanting to attack to be free flowing. The attack is inspired by Terraria. I'm not against it, but I like in games. I'm not too keen on like when you attack and you have to stop and then you have to do it. That would make the combat more difficult. It would make you plan out things. But as for a regular attack, I personally really like this free-flowing combat. And I've actually gone through a lot of effort and trouble to ensure this. Like, it's been an active thing that I've tried to do where you have this free-flowing combat. Not so much with abilities. Like, there's recovery there. The slam has a recovery, but I'm out of stamina. You know, abilities is fine, but for your basic attack, I want that to be free-flowing. You can move at any time. Where do you save all your scripts? Your file tree looks so empty. Usually that has, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't script on all these little things. I don't really have a need to. I'm not sure what you're asking, to be honest. Oops. Anyhow, how about you look into general points of a hard enemy and try to work on that? For example, the aim of a shooter enemy should be accurate, unless you're already doing that. Not sure. Are you better with art or code, or can you do both really well? Better at code. Much better at code. I'm getting better at art, but I'm much, much better at code. Okay, so if there's a target, then this is what we're going to look at here in a second, because that's going to apply the logic that we're going to be looking at. Because it gets the direction towards target position. We'll have to see where else this is being called, because I think that's a very generic thing. We might have to... Yeah. There's probably a neighbor thing. What is likely going to happen here with this flanking code is the way this works is that you tell it where you want to go to. It does a raycast check. I think it's 8 of them, and it has these arrays and they have weights to them, and it says maybe 16. Actually, no, that's different. That's something else. And it checks every direction. And it to get how much it would rather go in that direction, and then and it has a weight to it. So the higher the weight, the more likely it wants to go that way. And then, so what will likely happen is we'll check the neighbor's velocity, which we're already doing, which is it does the separation here. If we pull this up, you'll notice that they move away from each other. Whenever they clump, it's sort of an anti-clumping thing, so they don't stand on top of each other. And what we're likely to do is to push that further. Maybe the closer they get to their entity, maybe. And then we're gonna take a look at that in a second, because that's likely what we need to change. Okay, so that'll return a normal vector in the direction that we want to go. We apply it by how fast we want to go. Okay, no, that's how fast we want to go. That's how many tiles to move. And then this is a dead zone thing. And this is, not sure how it plays here, but it's to make them so they stop at a certain direction. So let's look here. Arrival, dead zone, arrival distance. So if we go back to the pursuit velocity, that's the dead zone, it's the distance. Okay, so if we bump this up, this will make it so they stand further away. So you have soft collision. Yeek, yeah. So you can see they stand further away. Do that number. So that's what controls that. Bring it back. So what we want to look at is here. Get direction towards. And this is going to be, this is sort of stacked logic. The way this works is it creates the context. Context is the array that holds the weights. And then it says seek context, which finds the player. Separation context is what moves it away from other entities, which is probably what we're going to look at. Let's see. This has the context and exceptions. It doesn't have a direction, like a distance, like a... What we could have is a weight. like how much to apply it. We'll see. We'll take a look at that. So let's take a look at this. Like we could pass in a value for how much to apply these weights by. It depends on how we're applying all the weights. Is the sword swinging handled using twins? It is. It is used twins. Maybe have like a multiplier for some skeletons that make it much more tough for enemy but drop more. Don't know what you're talking about. Here. Alright. So the spacing is how far to stay away from, is it? No. Spacing is, so this checks a circle around the target, the entity. And the spacing is how much that angle is between every raycast or whatever. Make a tiger enemy. Why do we need a tiger enemy? Neighbors and overlapping neighbors. See, that goes through all the neighbors. We don't need to do ourselves. Okay. And that's how far we are. Well, no, that's the different move away from it. Placement.length is less than 16. I'm surprised I hard-coded that. So that's how far we move away. So if we were to do 32 here, I'm really surprised I hard-coded that one. And they should stick away from each other further. Now they seem to be ignoring that. Interesting. They don't seem to be heeding that as much when they get closer. Faces like this. Camera's a cheap camera. I gotta upgrade my camera. How are you making them stronger? Right now we're tweaking their AI. So previously in the stream we reduced the effect of the stunning by making it so that they return to their previous state. So previously they would go back to their idle state, which would restart everything. They'd have to prepare to attack again, they'd telegraph and everything. But now if, like right there, he's still going to attack because he went stunning. The stunning is what handles the knockback and pushes them away. And so instead of going back to idle, resetting everything, they go back to their previous state and they continue telegraphing and then attacking and stuff. So that's what we did previously. Right now we're looking at how to get them to flank the player, sort of move around to them. And typically when I've done this before, it's because of the neighbor avoidance system, which is what we're looking at now. That didn't seem to push them away from it though. Weird. I would have expected that to be further. Now the separation here is context. No, I think we need direction towards. Yeah. I think this is all context. No, wait, hold on. I think I know what's going on. No, I don't. Let's see. Can you make a tutorial on how to load up the sword like that? I get asked that a lot. Maybe. Let's see. Are you going to be... Yeah, you can already switch weapons. Godot is on Android. This is not going to be a mobile game, in case anybody's asking. I don't see it anywhere, but yeah. All right. So here, let me explain this right quick, because this is where the magic's happening with the separation. Context of size. Okay, so if the enemy is close enough to them, that doesn't seem to be doing as much as I wanted to, then it iterates through all the raycast, well, not raycast, but all the directions, gets the angle, and then it gets the like, it gets a value from one, let's see, well, it gets the dot product. Dot product, it's one, the closer it, like the closer it is towards, facing towards that thing. -1 in the opposite direction. And so it looks like here I'm normalizing it between 0 and 1. Okay. What if a... Okay. What I think I'm going to... No. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try multiplying this by a large number. See what happens. You know, mobile could work really well with this game. Why is that? Whoa, what's happened there? Oh. Because I don't think it would work well with this game, to be honest. So how are you currently trying to fix skeletons? Right now we're trying to make them lerp around flank the player. And I don't know how it feels comfy and more like simple. I wouldn't say it's a simple game. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a simple game. Especially wouldn't say it's performance friendly. That was the big thing that I think would prevent it from being on mobile. This is probably not going to be a very mobile friendly, like performance wise. I don't know why that's not. What about a dash at a random angle at the player at a different time? Yeah, I'm thinking we'll add a dash attack. Let's do that right now. That'll be an easy thing we can do. I'll come back to look at this later. Because I think that would be more interesting, having the yeah. So we would want that to happen probably when they telegraph. What I'm checking right now is to see if I can keep them from telegraphing, if they keep distance close. That's another thing we can do, is we can up that distance maybe to where they start attacking. Because it looks like I can just keep them at the edge of the sword and they not attack. The reason I'm checking for this is because if we do a dash attack, then we could just do this right here. And they would never be able to enter that attack. So we need to up that a bit, and then we can do the dash. So where they can dash attack you from further away. Wait, you want to make it mobile friendly? I do not want to make it mobile friendly. No. I'm not interested in making it mobile friendly. All right. So let's see. We have to look at how we enter the telegraph state, which would be something like this. Get transition here. And that would be in should attack, which is probably AI. Yeah. Okay, so it should just be as simple as upping this, I think. Attack range. Bump that up to 48. Okay, there we go. That already... There we go. That's already a little bit more difficult. Alright, not too bad. It's a good start. Let's tone it down slightly and see what happens. You can confirm... Oh, I don't know. Look, cool. What are your plans for the harder enemies? I'm not thinking of harder enemies right now. My main thought right now is demo. Like, that is my main concern. Demo is probably only going to have a couple of enemies. Like, it's not, I'm not concerned about variety for the demo. It's only going to be about 15 minutes or so of gameplay. And so, Skelly, Sprout, maybe one more enemy, and then a boss, So once I get past the demo, because I'm already behind on the schedule wise. Once I get past that, I'll start thinking about tougher enemies. But yeah. Okay, we're going back up to 48. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah. Have you thought about the price yet? Probably about $20. Yeah. Demo seems the most important thing it is, especially since there's only what? December, January, February, March. About 4 months left, and I need probably about a month to get the Kickstarter and everything else ready. So about 3 months of development left. I mean, granted, I'll be doing the Kickstarter throughout. Probably. I wanted to do like a whole month dedicated to getting all that marketing and stuff ready. But I can't drop the devlog for a month. So I'll probably be working on the Kickstarter throughout. Okay, that's better. Let's look at... Let's go back to our warrior here. So the telegraphing. Now... I'm probably going to have a different telegraph for this attack. What is the story? You will see in the demo. I haven't really told much about the story yet. But you already have the story for the game in your head ready to go. Just needs to get out through your fingers. Yeah, it just needs to get it implemented. What did I miss? What did we do? I don't know when you left, but we fixed up the stun state so that it's not as powerful. And we made it to where they can attack at a better range. And we didn't do the flanking yet. We started that, and then we're going to do the dash attack here now. What is this programming language? This is GDScript from Godot. Do you have anyone else working on it too, like art or music? Nope, just me. Just little old me. Okay. Looks great. Well, thank you. It's like Python, but for Godot. Yeah, that's what they say. Very similar to Python. All right. So what I'm thinking is we have a random chance to dash, maybe. What is this? This is a transition here. So this is the transition. For those not familiar with my state machine, this is the transition. It gets called every physics process after the logic is getting called. So we call the logic. It does all that stuff in the state machine. Then it calls the get transition to see if it should change its state. And so if we're in the pursue state and the player should attack, then we're going to change to our telegraph. So likely what we'll do is we'll have like an and if rand. We're going to do this inside the Skelly script, but we're just going to hardcode it here for now. Like 0.25. Then return states.telegraph. And that'll be the basic telegraph. Maybe. I don't want to have a separate. What I'm thinking about here is how to transition from the telegraph to either the attack or the dash ability. I don't want to have, ideally, I don't want to have a separate dash telegraph. I would like to be able to say like telegraph, and then it'd be like, okay, it's going to be at a dash attack. We could do this. Let's go to this here. In a game I'm making, I have this. Wait, what? Do you do this full time, or is this just what you have? Can make time for? Yeah, full time. G is a regular one-man band. There you go. Yeah, full time. Coding and art and music and the devlogs. Devlogs take up a lot of time. I'd say about half my time goes just making the devlogs. Let's see. This is a little dirty. Little dirty. We're gonna say will dash equals false. And what we're gonna do is whenever we oh, I always gripe a little bit when I do dirty stuff. When we enter the telegraph state, we'll say if ran. This will be what we would do in the skeleton. 0.25. And then we'll say will dash equals true. Else we'll do a regular telegraph. And here will be like parent dot on dash telegraph. And so we'll have like a different animation for this one. And then when we exit the state, is it exit? I could have sworn it would have been exit. No, here. We'll have, if not is telegraphing. And we'll say if wheel dash, which we set earlier in this state, will return states.dash. Else, we'll return a regular attack. Has the sprite turn red as it charges it? It's probably going to have an animation, but for now we're going to do like a placeholder thing. So it probably will be red. It'll be easy to see. One of the things I like to do is I like to fluff up my players. It's almost a meme at this point, probably. Well, if anybody remembers, it's been a while since I've done coding in a stream. I usually do art, but you know. So animation player. Is this got? Oops. Does this have the telegraph? It does not. Oh no, wait. We don't telegraph that way. Okay. So we'll have a new one called dash telegraph. Telegraph is just another animation state that plays before you go into an attack state. That is correct. Telegraphing is telling the player something. Not necessarily just an attack state, like any kind of announcing to the player that something's about to happen. Same telegraph animation, but a color change to telegraph the difference. They're not going to swing their sword backwards. Probably. Maybe they will. When you do an art on the stream, you seem happier than when coding. It's when I do art streams, it's easier for me to interact with y'all, and we can, joke around, make jokes. I can draw, because I can talk and draw, and a lot easier than I can code. When I'm coding, I have to sit there and think about what I'm doing, and I have to focus more about the code, and let y'all do about y'all's things, and then occasionally I'll check out and get distracted. But yeah, coding's fun because I'm not coding, but the drawing is fun with the streams because it's more interactive. I can interact with y'all better, which I like. But I'm thinking we'll flip it up. We'll switch it up every now and again. Sometimes we'll do some coding. Sometimes we'll do some drawing. Probably not too frequently. Probably do a few weeks of coding, a few weeks of drawing, just to sort of spice things up a bit. There's not a lot of drawing that I need right now that I would be interested in doing though. I'd been doing some recently. I showed you the bushes from earlier. I'd been working on Dirt Road. It's being a pain in the rear. So if we can pull that up. This one. Trying to get, but I don't know. I don't like it. But yeah. Anyhow, back to this. We'll go to the idle state so we can reset that. Dash telegraph. So what we'll do is we'll take the body. Do this go. And I usually do two little fluffs. We'll go like that. And that. Make the animation 0.4. And then we'll go 1.5. Oops. Key that, and then we'll duplicate. There, that's our little telegraph. And then we'll just do that for now. It is good enough. No, we'll flash red. It ain't gonna cost us anything. flashing shader here. Okay, let's use this. We'll go floop, bloop, and then flash red. Key both of those in. We'll have to go through and reset. I'll probably do it here actually. We'll do it here. I'm going to reset this to white. I should probably do it when we do the other things, the other purpose of this. But this is fine. Because I mainly use the flash shader for when you take damage and they flash white. I don't want them flashing red after they've done this telegraph. I don't know. I didn't mean to run that. But yeah. So yeah, there's that. That's going to be the little dash thing. For now. Right. So, on dash, we need to make that method here. We'll put it next to the... Why don't you have a telegraph? That's interesting. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, surely not. So function on dash telegraph. So we're gonna telegraph that, the sword, and then the animation player is going to play the dash telegraph. Do you have any plan for ranged enemies? Well, there's the Sprout, which is a ranged enemy. And I'm wanting to do a skeleton archer, which might be in the demo, maybe. Maybe. So there's that. And then I think I have get his telegraphing, which is return that. We're about to do a cheap and dirty thing again. If state machine, because remember we're doing this dash thing here. Actually, no, what we do, we can say if that is stopped and animation player has stopped. Actually, that might not work. Because it depends on if I'm playing an animation in the state machine, like the like an idle animation or anything like that. I don't think we reset it, so it's possible. Update animation, yeah, it's done there. So that's not gonna work. So we're gonna have to say, we're gonna say var value equals this guy. And we're going to return the value. And if the state machine dot little dash, I believe it was, then we need to value, I believe we can just and equals this. I think that'll work. Okay. Actually, shoot. That update animation is gonna screw me over because it's gonna cancel out my animation. Shoot. Make a Poseidon boss or a Necromancer boss, which will be the first. I don't know. Oh, great. Do you have any plans? All right. So the thing that I need to do here, the way telegraphing works, is that the skeletons, they swing their sword back and they attack, but they're capable of walking when I do that. That's the whole point of this part here. Is they pretty much act like they're in the pursue state, but they're swinging their sword backwards. The alternative to this would be to just make a separate thing here. me say that. We apply the stop motion. We make it to where they can't walk while attacking. We might end up making a separate dash telegraph, actually. Yeah, okay. We're gonna make a dash telegraph. Should take a second. Okay, so get rid of this. Wait. Oh, okay. Not moving and ready. Their sword then boost. Well, I'm going to have it to where when they regular attack, they will be able to move. But when they dash attack, they won't. They'll stop, do the little telegraph, and then they'll dash at you. But regular attack. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's do it for now. Let's see how that works. Oops. This is going to act a lot like the other one, except for we're going to stop. We apply the movement. I don't think we need to update facing. Update facing changes their facing direction. So like say if the player is standing to the right, then they move to the right. I don't think we have to do that with telegraphing because we're stopping. If there shouldn't be any read. No, actually. Yeah. Let's update facing. Update pivot to where they swing. Now this might change. Maybe. Well, no, it would make it easier. And I'm probably not going to make it that, like, we don't want to make it that much easier. You recommend Godot when I'm just starting to learn Unity? It seems more user-friendly. I would say Godot is more user-friendly. But at the same time, I would say try it out, see what you think. Different people like different things. But in my opinion, Godot is more user-friendly, more beginner-friendly. But at the same time, Godot is also still very powerful. So did I do anything that would have broken this? Let's get rid of this. If you want to make a 2D game, you think Unity is better? Really? Usually people say the opposite. Like it's very, very typical for people to say that Godot is better 2D wise. 3D Unity is superior, in my opinion. But usually you don't hear that about 2D. Dash telegraph, that should be fine. I think we've changed this. If parent dot, let's go ahead and do this here. Should dash attack. Oh wait, no. We want to do it when we enter the dash and telegraph, excuse me. Here, okay, we're good. Dash equal true on dash telegraph. Okay, let's go ahead and do this here then. If parent dot should dash and we'll just return round. We're going to return this. Actually, we're going to return true for testing purposes. But in the actual thing, it'll be that proper percentage chance for it. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, you meant the other way around. Gotcha. Up. Really? Oh, I guess it's just, okay. Wow. The reason that didn't work is that's a binary operator. I thought that would have worked, though. Okay. So I'm going to have to write out completely. Unless there's a It's not a thing, is it? Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Someone likes GMS too. I started out with the first one, I think, before it was Studio. Oops. Oh, that's funny. Why do y'all do that? I mean, they're not... Why do y'all face away? That's weird. Okay. They don't have any dash logic, by the way. Why do they face away, though? That's weird. Godot in 3D is about to get a lot better with the Vulkan. That is true. LOD now has further improvements. At least I hope so. I'm making a 3D. Nice. Are you using Godot for 3D currently? I used it for a bit of 3D. It's actually, man, it's pretty good for 3D. I mean, I had a few issues, and it didn't have the tools that Unity has, but it is still good for 3D. And it has the simplicity of Godot, so that's really nice. Like, you can make 3D easily. It's just Unity has this tool that I really liked. I forget the name of it, but it was used for making not primarily probably, but it was really useful for making levels, 3D levels, like prototypes and stuff, really quickly, especially grid-based. Yeah, as we speak, it's only the graphics in LOD that I really like. What does LOD 3 mean in a 3D thing? I don't do a lot of 3D, so load on demand. Pro builder, I think that's right. That sounds familiar. My laptop can't handle 3D and Godot. Level of detail, got you. Load on demand is a thing, though, isn't it? Isn't that what I'm doing in my chunk loading system? Were they facing away when they attacked? When you to the right of them? So it's to the left of. They face away. They always face to the right, it seems. For some reason, that's really weird. I'm not sure why. So low poly texture when stuff is... Gotcha. I get what you're saying. Yeah, they always face to the right. It would probably have to be something with update facing. No? That's weird. Why is that so weird? Why are you doing this? I haven't changed anything for the facing logic. No. Yeah, like, that makes no sense. Unless a stop velocity would be ruining it? Surely not. Why would you? Then I saw the like numbers. Oh, I wanted to like the live. I think it's been at that for a while. No, it was views. It was views that was that for a while. So okay, it's weird. Stop velocity breaks that. I didn't know that. Let's find out why right quick, if y'all don't care. If you do, just shout like we have other things to be doing. But I'm curious to why stop velocity. Might be a character thing. Battle character. Why would that break it? That is weird. Unless pursue velocity fixes it. No, because we commented it out and it broke. That is the weirdest thing. Okay, then. I don't know. Unless I misspelled it here. No, wait, never mind. That's why. Okay. I got excited. It's still broken. Let's run this as a test. It should still be broken. Maybe the animator doesn't. It's not it doesn't. Yeah, the animator is not changing any values that would break it that I can think of. Okay, so it's not that. We can calm down. It's not that one line of code that has nothing to do with anything. Let's try this and see if that's what fixes it, because that would be interesting. I don't know why it would though. Okay, it's not that. Is it update animation? It might be update animation. Okay, seems like that's what the issue is. All right. I don't see why it would though. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think that's going to affect anything mechanically. I'll just have to go through later and worry about it. That's why loosely typed languages are garbage. What are you talking about? What does loosely typed languages got anything to do with it? It's something to do with my logic for some reason. Something in that method is changing my facing direction. Take it easy, Silent Whisper. This game is so inspiring, it made me love pixel art, even though I hated it before. Well, good to know. I'm glad to hear that, but considering that I haven't been doing pixel art for too long, to be honest. That's the reason why it's so simple, is because I just don't feel like doing all the likes. Quick, somebody unlike. The reason I'm going with a simple cartoony style is because I don't like doing all the detail stuff that everybody else does. I love your channel. Your gaming tutorials are so great. You inspired me to make my own coding YouTube channel. Yay. May C# and the other strictly typed languages are easy to debug. Oh, maybe. That was pretty easy to debug. The only reason I had issues debugging it was because I left the code in there. It was short-circuiting this. This was dead code. It's the only reason I had that issue debugging it. Oh, unless you're talking about like I could go here. I mean, there is debug options. I just didn't want to do that because I could go here and check out all these variables and stuff. And just not concerned with it right now. You inspired me to continue developing Godot. Also, your tutorials are very useful. Thank you. Multiplayer in Godot tutorial. Multiplayer is something that I would like to do later on. I'm not expecting to do that anytime soon, but I would like to do it at some point. Hey bro, I like your channel. New to Godot. Do you recommend a tile editor tutorial for me? Tile editor tutorial. There's not really any good ones that I can think of, actually. A tile editor. I don't know. Like, tile maps are a tricky thing with Godot. I enjoy them, but a lot of people have issues with them, and so there's not a lot of tutorials on tile maps from what I know. I think they can do a good. I mean, granted, I don't have a lot of experience with tile maps, so I mean, anything is probably good to me. But I like that. I think Godot's tile maps have a lot of functionality with their tool scripts and stuff. Also, how did you get Tile Buddy and Godot? Tile Buddy is my thing. Is that something else? Like, that is my own script that I created. If it's another thing, that's just a naming thing. Yeah, it's not an actual. I was wondering why you added the telegraph state and not just included it as part of the animations. Is there a benefit in doing this? I'm not sure what you're asking. I was wondering why you added the telegraph state and not just included it as part of the animations. Oh, you mean like the update animation thing here? Update animation is, the purpose of it is to do things like, where did I have this up? Here. It's just to change like the idle, and stuff like that. Whereas the telegraph is a thing that fires once, and it's not animation related. It's not animation player related. It's based on the sword, so it tells the sword to telegraph, and then it does all that twinning and stuff. And this one is both. It's the sword telegraph, but it's also the animation player. And we want this to fire once. But that is actually a thing we could do. Now that, which is probably what you were alluding to. Now, something to consider with that is I don't want it to keep playing. This is to ensure that it keeps playing and updates whenever it's not supposed to. So what I could say, do I have a? Okay. Yeah. Let's see, because I really like your map and I would like to make something similar. What are we talking about? Wait. Oh, you talking about the thing I'm working on here? Like all this stuff? I mean, this is very bare bones. A lot of functionality that's not there. As you can see in the early on in the stream, I had difficulties using it because I kept hitting the wrong things. Like for example, for to do bushes, and I increased the brush size, and like it's not represented in the preview, which I need to fix. And the fact that I can't tell if this is going to erase or draw. Erase. I need to. And it's a lot of stuff I need to add, but a bit at a time. It's really nice. Well, thank you. Yeah, just stuff I added periodically. It's a lot of stuff I need to do. It's not bare bones this week. Well, I'm glad y'all like it. It is still very bare bones though. Now the nice thing about it is I'm trying to develop it in such a way that it'll be useful for other people. Like y'all be able to like open up a console, level editor, and then boop. And that didn't work. Did that actually work? Hold on. It's that wasn't supposed to work. No, okay. Apparently I just hit the wrong thing. Might have been might have been this. Yeah, that's what that was. The R. R is my key to switch back and forth. And for some reason it's not unhandled input. Like for some reason it's in the unhandled method. Like if we go game here. Oh, what did somebody say? Control O? Game? No? Was it open? I don't know. We're gonna go back to this. So game. I got excited because I thought I had a command there. But if we go here, it's in the unhandled input. But for some reason, it's not treating it as unhandled. I don't know why. Let's see. All right. So back to this. Now I'm curious. What is my command handlers? I thought I did have. I don't. Oh well. The original reason I made that console was for the level editor, and that's why I mentioned it, and why I got excited. But I was like, I didn't remember adding that command. But whatever. Nice channel. How old are you? I don't think that's important. Old enough. Let's see. Not that I don't mind knowing. I just always think that's a weird question. Let's see. Telegraph. Oh yeah, we was doing the. So let's not worry about the facing right now. Let's worry about the dash attack. So when we dash telegraph and we exit the estate, get transition telegraphing. Okay. So if we say if we'll dash. And then we will return states.dash. else we'll return attack. Did we add the dash state? We didn't. We'll add this after attack. Set it up. Okay. Could you tell B if this tile set is good? I made it. If you're linking to something and the chat doesn't let you link to it. I usually don't open links during the stream anyhow. I don't answer any messages or links or anything. Too distracting. Let's see. So we got the dash thing. We want the interstate. Let's do that. Let's stick to the thing we was doing. States.dash. And then we'll parent.dash. And this is that'll be setting the velocity probably. And then we want to return from the dash state. Now, we're probably going to set the velocity. Do like a little jump animation maybe. Well, not right now. It's polished. That's not mechanically important. We're going to set the velocity. We're going to lerp it down to 0. And so I'm guessing once we have 0 velocity or a low enough velocity, that's when we would return from the dash state, which we would do. Where do we return to from attack? So end transition attack, we go to idle. All right, so states.dash. If not, parent.is dashing. Return states.idle. And then here is dashing. And this, like I said, will be likely if the character has enough velocity. Now, there's probably some lerping going on, or going to be going on. I'm going to be applying a stop velocity. And so it's going to be a lerping, and lerping takes time to reset to 0 perfectly. So we want to have like a sort of threshold. So if we say return velocity.length, velocity has half what direction? That's the movement vector. Velocity.length is greater than, let's say 5. Let's see. Right, that should be it. That should be all we need. Okay, so dash if we're not dashing. Oh, and we need to say do a second. For it's dashing. Wait, yeah. I'll have to change that method name. Oops, not that one. Hi guys, well howdy. Welcome to the stream. It is dashing. Okay. I think we added the dash attack, didn't we? The interstate dash, which we need to add here. Yeah. Do it here. We're going to rename that as well. And here we'll just say for target or desired velocity. Vector 2.0. We're going to get the target, which, like I said before, we have this method. I use weak references to store the target. So we do that. If the target is not equal null. This is just to prevent reference errors and stuff. Okay. And all we're going to do here is get a displacement between we'll have to. This is not going to hook into the AI stuff that I have, so that'll be something to consider. I need to make a note of that because I have AI functions for getting directions towards stuff, but we're not going to do that. But that, and the reason that's important is for things like a pit. If there's a pit between the skeleton and the player, or a wall, or anything like that. How do you handle reusable code in Godot since you can only attach one script per node? You mean like the Unity's component system? I don't know. Unity's component system's a lot more flexible. I don't really ever feel the need for it though. Like if I need reusable code, it's usually like in a base class on its own thing, and I can carry it over other places. It's not usually an issue I have to run into, but no. Displacement equals our position, global position, minus, no, the target's global position, minus our global position. And this will create a vector too that points towards the player with the distance of that as well. So we're going to have a constant dash speed. Set this to, let's go units. This will be per tile size. We're just going to throw a random 8 in there for now. That'll be 8 tiles per second. It won't be exact because velocity will get put into a stop velocity, which will this game have multiplayer? That is, I would like for the game to have multiplayer. It will have, at the very least, local multiplayer. I would like to do online multiplayer, but that is a whole beast that I have no experience with. It's something like, I just think if I need to start a new game, I need to rewrite my movement and attack scripts all over again, for example. Yeah, well, I usually have base classes for that kind of thing. Like this guy right here is very, like I could probably copy this over to another game. And so like my player, it uses that class. So through inheritance. Like say the state machine, for example. This is my basic state machine. Very simple. It manages the states, previous states, does all the transition and stuff. And then, or what I'm working in right now is this guy, which inherits from that. And so it takes these virtual methods, which you'll find here, get transition. You see this is a virtual method, and I just extend to it. You can use inheritance, yeah, basically. Will you implement that with peer-to-peer? I'm thinking I will do peer-to-peer. Dedicated server looks like a whole another beast that I don't know how difficult that'll be. It looks like it'll be a hassle though. So I think I would do peer-to-peer first, and like cause I think that's a very common thing. Like dedicated servers are nice, but I would wager that most multiplayer is done peer-to-peer, like with your friends. This is not going to be like a big multiplayer thing. Like probably be like a max of 4 players type thing, if even that. Maybe 2 players. I don't know. Well, 1 player host. I'll go ahead and tell you right now. I haven't thought a lot about multiplayer. I'm not probably not going to for like a year or 2 at most, or at least. Or 1 player host the game and would have to give the IP port to a friend. That's probably how it would be. Yeah, the multiplayer would be like friend to friend. I'm thinking at maybe two player multiplayer, maybe 4. 4 seems like it would make the game like really really easy. But then again, it's also not a combat oriented game, so I'm not that concerned with it. Peer to peer requires a middle server. Does it? I thought the whole thing for peer to peer was computer to computer. That's what peer-to-peer literally means, isn't it? Person to person. You can open your own ports. Let's see. What was I doing? Oh, right. That's. If you give the IP to your friend. Yeah. Over Discord. And now, I could probably do like a Steam connection thing, because this is going to be on a Steam. It's going to be a Steam game, and I could probably do like a thing like invite friend, do that whole thing. Oh, you're calling that a server? I didn't like handing an IP to friend address to your friend. I don't know that I'd call that a server. I'd just call that a message. Granted, I don't know anything about all that stuff. I don't know a thing about it. On localhost, you don't need server. If you do it on net, it will require the connections who connect to. Yeah. Anyhow, where am I at? I did the dash. Okay, right. We was here doing this. Okay, so this will get a vector 2 that points towards the thing. We set that constant, right? And that would be dash speed units. And then we would say desired velocity. We probably can even just do this directly. Usually I do this as a lerping thing. No. Yeah, desired velocity equals, but we're not going to lerp this, so this seems a little silly. It's just, it was it was an instinctive thing that I did. Displacement dot normalized. This will make the vector a length of 1, and then we multiply it by the dash speed units multiplied by the tile size, which we should just go ahead and do here. I usually do that for exports to make it easier for editing. No point in doing it there. A bit more computational efficiency. I get words. You want to change up the players, yeah. Like I said, I've not even currently thinking about multiplayer. That's way down the road. Way down the road. I'm in demo mode right now. Demo mode is not going to have multiplayer. Demo mode is going to have the basic gameplay, the concept of it. Desired velocity equal. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay. So then we have the dash. I think we don't have the dash logic. And I think that's the last thing we're lacking. Okay, so we want to apply a stop velocity, and I think this takes in a weight, because that's what we need. We don't want it to stop immediately. Jeez, this will be in character. No, I don't have a weight. We'll add one right now. Weight equals 1.0. Is the weight of the what affects that? Okay. Shoot. Weight equals negative 1.0. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to say weight equals get move weight if weight equals negative 1. Else, we're going to use the regular weight. Wait. Let's do this. Yeah, both of these. This is a method. Okay. All right. Or we could have just said if weight equals negative 1. We'll have to change the rest of those. Get move weight. There. Okay. Okay, and this way, in here I can say like 0.05. We'll have to play around with that. Yeah, I think so. Thank you for that. What are we talking about? Oh. Alright, let's see what this one does. I don't feel confident that we got all this stuff in. There's a lot of stuff in there for some reason. I could have sworn I added that though. There's like a... I know. Oh. No. Yeah, this, okay. I changed the wrong, I have a bad habit of changing the wrong method. Jeez. Okay, that should do it. Do you work on this game full time? If not, what do you do for a living? I work on the game full time. I do a bit of side work here and there though on other things, but yeah, this is a full time gig. On dash. Okay. Dash, on dash. That works. Their velocity. That looks about right. So what sounds to me like the stop velocity is not getting applied correctly, or how I want it to. Tell you what, let's try this. Oh, I know why. I know why. That. Don't get me wrong, but your channel isn't big enough to live from, so where does the money come from? I would like to become a solo full-time giver too. Like I said, I do some side things. Side work. There it goes. Okay. 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 I think we want to speed that up some. I have a decent paying part-time job. That's how I have time to develop games. There you go. That's it. You have to choose between comfort and doing what you want. Quality of life and making games. Yeah, I mean, depends on what your hookup is. Let's slow that down a little more. Just a little bit. And we need to get them to attack. Also, they didn't seem like they were telegraphing. So my telegraphing thing is canceling out too soon. It's not returning the correct value. Probably because I separated these out. No. This. Or we're not telegraphing properly. Value equals true is telegraphing. Why are you... Can't stay any longer, but wanted to pop in to say you inspire me. Thank you for your vids. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you for popping by. I usually have no energy left to code after doing it for the work the entire day instead of just watching the people code their games. A tip for that is to code earlier. Code before you work. Get up early, and code, and then go to work. I found I write better code in the morning too. Okay. Oh yeah, we're going to test this value here. You'll have a hard time doing that with a university and part-time job. I mean, this is... You ain't going to have time for that, bud. What am I... Oh, hold on. I've got an error here. What is... No, I don't. Hold on. Is that recursing? Why is that recursing? Oh, hold on. I bet that... No, Why is that recursing? That's weird. Is it? What did I miss? I don't remember when you left. We're looking at why this might be recursing. I don't understand. And the editor's doing this weird thing too. I smell introvert. Oh, probably. I mean, the most exhausting part of work is the communicating meetings. The coding itself is actually easy. Okay. Well, not easy, but okay, yeah. Yeah. Left it. I'm not going to go back and see when that was, but... Oh, you talk about time, never mind. I mean, I know when you left, I just don't know what I was working on at the time. Watching a dude code a video game. We're all introverts here. There you go. Watching a dude add a dash attack. And for some reason, it's taking me a lot longer than it should. A dash attack is not difficult. It's like really basic stuff. I don't know why it's taking me this long. I like talking to people, just not discussing all day and dealing with stubborn personalities. Yeah, you'll get that a lot. I smell introvert. We're all introverts. Every one of us. Every single one. Maybe value equals value. Well, value is... It's a variable. You can say variable equals variable. The recursion would happen with a method. But I don't see why it's doing it as a breakpoint, though. Let's do it here. Because the breakpoint, it should stop there. This is a really weird functionality that Godot is doing. Tell you what, let's do this. So what happens if I do that? I'm still doing it. That is weird. I've never had this before. Let's call the method just to see if it's any weird issue with your transition. That's the only place we should be calling that, right? Just in case there's a weird thing with the setter or the getter. Yeah, I don't know. Do not know what the hell's going on with that. Let's return true and see if it telegraphs. Because it also seems like the telegraph's not returning. No, not breakpoint, excuse me. Let's get rid of that. If not is telegraphing. Wait, hold on. No, that's fine. If we'll dash. Okay. So yeah, I did that to lock that up. That's not going to enter because that's returning true and we're inverting it. The animation player is still not playing though. It's because, did I do the update? Yeah. And that's probably why it's, that's probably why it's breaking through. Screwed up my animation player. Okay, well, we're good. That's why that was broken. Because of that stupid debug line that I did to see if it was broken. Because it was doing the update animation, which will play the idle animation if they're not moving. And we're checking for the animation player here. So this would return true too soon. But that means that the sword wouldn't swing it either. Which it should be. Unless I'm not entering, what about if I do this? What does it say? Get is, does an on dash. We should, no, that's not on dash. On telegraph, on dash telegraph. That should have done it. I don't know. That's weird. Yay, there you go. While the skeleton's stopping and blushing. Welcome to the streamer. Or debugging. There we go. And for some reason they're pointing backwards. We'll ignore that. It shouldn't affect anything mechanically. Okay, now they're jumping too soon as well. And you can see that they're supposed to telegraph and then jump, and for some reason they're not. And my guess would be... Oh, wait, hold on. I bet we didn't fix this one. God. No, we should get his dashing. His telegraphing. That dash is cool. No, it's not. Oh, it's very, very much falling apart right now. So states, we enter the telegraph state. Let's say if, not parent, is the telegraphing. That should be fine. No, this is recalling too soon. I'm guessing the method is not proper. So yeah, that's returning true when it's not, when it shouldn't. I bet that's why. Stupid. Stupid. Okay, that should fix it. I look away for a couple minutes and this happens. Yeah. Yes. Let's get it going. There we go. Now we just need to get them to attack when they dash. Do we... Okay. Interstate attack on attack. Now on attack is... Okay, it's this. Hand item.use is attacking equals true. I think we're just going to call on attack when we do it. So should dash on dash. We just say on attack. And that should make it to where they attack immediately. They look like they're going to pop. Now, I'll probably want to delay it, I would imagine. What depends. Yeah, let's add a dash, a bit more velocity to their dash, make them a bit more menacing. They look like they're going to pop. Well, it's just a placeholder telegraph. They'll have an actual animation. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So now let's make it periodically. Chance equals 0.25. So every quarter of every 4 times average they attack, there's a chance it will dash. We'll have to fix that. See, update animations is doing that one. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I have an idea. Hold on. Man, I'm being naughty. Oh man, equals false. Okay. I really should make this 2 different methods, but whatever. The reason I was chuckling, I was going to push the telegraph back up here and then do this here, but I could just do it in the telegraph. That way it's less confusing. It's still not good, but I don't feel like making a whole new state just for dashing. No, not my parent. No, I've already got this. No, we won't stop velocity. Else we'll chase the thing down. Dot. Also, it's a bad naming convention. I need to fix that. Be more consistent. And we'll do 0.05. Okay. So when we telegraph, we set that wheel dash thing. We'll do that here. We need to update the animation. We'll do that here as well. We'll say boop. Maybe. I mean, the order's probably bad. Probably shouldn't do it in that order. We'll see if it works. Why are y'all? Oh, it's just a bad luck. Run of bad luck, apparently. Okay. More so difficult. Probably a little too often. Just a little bit. I don't want to bump it down too much. Let's try 1.5. Yeah, they're definitely harder now. I'm thinking the dash telegraph might be too quick because I can't really tell it. It's not as obvious to me. So I think we're going to increase that duration. I also don't like this. So let's do this for another 0.6 maybe. No. Oh, good. What am I changing here? I need to select these. Come on now. Like that. That seems really hard. Oh yeah, they're too hard now, and I think it's a lot to do with the telegraph. It's way too quick, and the dashing was too often. Why? What? I changed all that. A lot of this, all that. Why are you? Okay, so I don't know what that was. That was, do that. Should fix, no, hold on. Should fix that. That was from when, it changes the preview or whatever. Yeah, still too long. Let me do this. I don't know that that's doing that properly. We're going to give it like a really long duration. It might be doing it too soon. Yeah, you're not taking that into consideration at all. Why? That's weird. And let me test it one more time because I did that freaky thing earlier where it didn't take the changes into account. The weird thing is it is waiting. Maybe it's waiting on the sword telegraph. Maybe. Or, is telegraphing. We return. It is true. That has not stopped. So if the timer is running, it's true. Right? Equals true. We are telegraphing if that timer is running. And if the state machine will dash. If we are dashing, value equals and... Oh, wait. No, that would invert it, wouldn't it? We need an or, don't we? Not invert it, but it would cancel it out. So if this is true, or this is true, for either one of those. So if the sword is telegraphing, or the animation is playing, I think that should be correct. Okay. That's more what I expected to see. Let's try 0.4 to see what that looks like. I still think it'll be too quick. Let's try 0.6 and see what that looks like. Why are they facing backwards? Because there's a weird bug with my update animation that I don't know what about yet. And I'm not worried about fixing it right now. Okay, let's try it out. I don't like the scaling. The scaling is actually starting to irritate me. Why is it not? The reason it's doing that is because... Wait, okay. Let's do a quick fix. The scaling is temporary, by the way. It's just a placeholder animation. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say telegraphing. And when we exit this telegraph, we'll say parent.body.scale equals vector2.1. Temporary fix. What do we call this? Note for placeholder animation. Is there going to be difficulty options? I'm thinking there will be. It's not going to be in for the demo, so like I have not planned it out. But I'm thinking there will be some difficulty stuff, yeah. Like, and I don't want to do just like, yeah, that is feeling maybe too quick of a dash. We'll lower it down. I don't want to do just enemies that are twice as hard or you have half a health or anything like that. I want to do mechanically different, I think. Sort of like how Terraria does it, where you know, zombies have a rake, and the rakes do more damage, or the bosses have different mechanics, that kind of thing. Instead of making them bigger, you should make them. It's placeholder. That is not like, it's just there. It's not going to be for the thing at all. It's just for the stream. I don't want to dedicate a bunch of time to a animation that I'm not even going to use for the final thing. It's just for me to test play. So what was I want to do? Oh yeah, that thing's not working as I expected. I don't know that I'll be able to time this correctly, but I think that might have been the regular attack. And Terraria bosses get more mechanics and extra health. Yeah, make sure you follow in expert mode's footsteps. Yeah. Now I don't know how much more difficult, because I'm like, in my opinion, I'm a bit of a pansy gamer. In my opinion, Terraria's expert mode is too difficult. But then again, I'm not going to be the one playing it, so we'll have to see. I'm going to have to get testers to test the expert mode, because I don't enjoy games that are very difficult. Like, Terraria's normal mode is like perfect for me. I enjoy the normal mode. Expert mode I find to be too grindy. But I like the idea of how they handle the expert mode. Greetings from the Netherlands. Welcome to the stream. But I like the idea of how it's not just a simple numbers change. You know, it's mechanically different. It gives, and I think it incentivizes people to play it because they want to experience the new things instead of just a numbers bump. The old Yanny, hi, howdy. That said, I don't want players to feel forced like they will miss out on content, because that is one thing also that I hate about the expert mode, is the fact that I don't enjoy it, so I'm not going to play it. So I'm missing out on a lot of items. I think even bosses and stuff. Like there's stuff that I'm never going to experience because I don't want to. It's weird, like the weird way to put that. I made it to the stream. I'm just late. Well, welcome to the stream. Oh, I think I already said that. Jeez. Oh yeah, wait. I don't know. Sorry for turning in late. I have an exam tomorrow. No worries. Or turning up late. You just now getting here, Abby? You're missing out on expert mode accessories, but that's it. Gotcha. Because there's a lot of those that I don't know what they do, and Terraria is my favorite game, and I've never experienced that stuff. I would like to, but I'm not interested in the difficulty. Let's see. Make sure that's what I'm changing in this animation. Animation body scale. It should, unless wait. Let's do this. Let's go parent dot animation player dot stop. This is all temporary garbage fixes, which I'm just tired of looking at the offset scales that are not proper. This won't be an issue in the. Okay, that seems to have done it. They are charging a lot. Like, you're only supposed to have like a 10% chance to do that. Why are y'all charging so much? Did I do? Oh, I screwed that up. Let's see. Shield of Cthulhu, the James Game Changer. I don't even know what that does. Oh no, wait, that's the whole dashing thing, isn't it? And then you hit enemies when you dash into them or something. Okay. Oh. I don't know why I did that. All right. Now, one thing we'll have to consider for difficulty as well, especially like if you've ever played my oh, that is weird. Why are y'all doing that? If you ever played my, which one is it? Orc Slayer game on itch that I did for the Miz Jam. One thing you can do is you can just run in circles because of the way I did the game, to where enemies will target where you were at when they started telegraphing, I think, or yeah, they started telegraphing, they stopped aiming, and so you can run circles around them. But you can, later on I'll probably add some predictive stuff. You can predict where the player is going to be based on their movement. Sprouts might be doing that, so I'll have to take a look at that. Oh yeah, that was fun. There you go. You talking about the game? The gameplay looked fun? It does. I feel like I'm having to dodge more now. But I feel it also feels a little too unpredictable. So let me bump this up even more. 0.8. Like, I can't really tell when that dash is coming. I like the actual mechanic in the game, and the Orc game. Gotcha. Is that way? Let's see. I'm back to starting to like it. Oh, Rust. I've never worked in Rust, so I don't know. The brain of confusion got buffed. It's actually really useful now. I don't know what that item does. I have an idea. Maybe the skeleton can lunge back, then dash out at you. Ooh. That would make it more clear that they're dashing. That is true. How easy would that be to set up, though? I think we will do that. I don't know that we'll do it on stream. I think we're already at the 2.5 hour mark. In fact, we're probably just about to call this. See what this value feels like, though. Okay. Now, I am noticing the dash now. I feel like I'm noticing it. I'm not dodging out of the way like I should. That's my fault. But I feel like I can react to it. Like, I didn't see any dashes there. That also was a really long dodge. Was that inconsistent? And for some reason, our animation's broken. Now, granted, how visible the dodge animation, the dash animation will be is a different story. But it feels like I'm able to see these now. That didn't seem like there was any there. Might be a little, let's bump this up now. I think it was 1.5 or 1.5. Let's see. Yeah, 6 minutes. That's why all the makers always to level this. So, right. Oh, it's talking about Rust. Oops. Now the thing I will worry about is the dash, like the stun locking for the dash. Still doesn't seem common. Let's bump it up again. 225. Add particles on the terrain you're moving on. Yeah, there's a dust particle when the player walks. That might be too long, actually. Yeah, that's too long. Okay. Let's go back to this. Now, the dust particle is temporary. It's not the final one that I'm going to use. Although I can't imagine the one that I do use being more. Okay, I'm stun blocking. That's probably because it's canceling out the animation player. That's worth noting. Feels like I can just hit him enough to not have to worry about the dash if I swing fast enough. So that's not good. Oops. So if I just swing fast enough, I don't get in there, then I can counteract a lot of that dodge, a lot of that dashing. I love the whole vibe of the game. Well, thank you. Ever like different kinds of... When you do cool, you get a cool... When you do move, a cool move, you get a cool part of animation. Yeah, we'll probably do more of that. That's polish that I'm not worried about right now. But yeah, we'll probably do some different particle kind of things. Alright, well, how can we stop the dash? Can we make it... Maybe the dash can't be interrupted? Okay, let's try that. Let's make it so that the dash can't be stunned, which should be as simple as getting the stun thing here. We'll copy this method for make a can stun method, which will return me. Which will return that. And then in the skeleton, skelly boy, we'll say function can stun, which we will return the parent method, or wait, hold on. Which one do we need? So let's see. I think it would be or. Not logic always throws me out of for a bit of a loop. Let's see. If die unpinned has state. This will be returned true if, let's see, if return false. Wait. Let's say the player's state is the telegraph. Okay. So if all that has that, it's going to return true. And then we say true and telegraph state, and we can dash. Or, yeah, will dash or whatever. I'm thinking and, right? Yes. Okay. So it would be if can and not state equals states dot telegraphing. Let's see. And will dash. So states equals states dot telegraphing. That'll be true. And will dash. States equals and will dash. And that's not true. And that's both are true. That should be good. Telegraph. It's a weird convention. I usually do telegraph. I usually do ing, don't I? No, I don't. I don't know. Oh, that's fun. Why did you do that? Let me get one guy here. Oops. Can swords clash together? No, not right now. Let's hold on. What if you applied the damage with a collision on the non-transparent pixel of the dash? Wait. Apply the damage with a collision with the non-transparent pixels of the dash. Hello, I'm a Brazilian boy, so my English can be a little wrong, but do you know how to program in Godot? Yeah, I know how to program in Godot. That's what I'm programming in. Let's see. If you want to learn how, live streams are not the place for it because I'm working on this task. But there's plenty of tutorials for how to program. I would recommend Kids Can Code. All right, buddy. I need you. In fact, I'm going to bump up that so we can debug. I just need to remember this. I'll always forget, but no. He does have that. Wait, they're just muted right now. Yeah. Actually, y'all should be hearing them. Might be too low. I don't know. Oh, wait. I think I'm going into the state machine when I shouldn't. Like it's on stunned. If can't know. Wait. No. Is there a... Okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Chances are, in the battle character, when you take damage, I'm calling the stun method here. If can stun. And we should say, and state machine can stun. Because what I'm doing is I'm checking if I can stun in the state machine. But I'm still getting the knockback. Okay. We should probably move the knockback into the stun. Now what is all this? This is direction, knockback, strength. I don't want to, I want to keep these separate. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say here, we'll do this check. And if that's the case, we'll stun and we'll knock back. Now let's keep it the way it was, just in case there's any logical reason for it. I would prefer to have the stun up top, but we'll do it that way. That should be good. We need to go back into here though. Here. On stunned. We had that, and that was wrong too. That would have I'm surprised it never worked with pinning. I need to look at why that was. I can get rid of this, I think. And now, in theory, this should only ever call. I need to be sure that's being called like I think it is. It's all the animations are broken. We're doing mechanics. We're not worried about animations. Okay. Okay, so that goes out. Whenever pro tip, if you're working on a mechanic, don't be concerned about the how the animations and stuff looks. I mean, animations and stuff is placeholder. That's not even the animation that'll be in the final game. Now, I need. Oh wait, he's always doing that. So we need to fix that back. You can always fix your animations when you're done with your mechanic. I don't think he dashed at any time. Okay. All right, let's throw a few more in here, and then we'll test how they feel together. Now that might have bumped up that difficulty quite a bit, to be honest. Because now you will have to dodge out of the way if you suspect that dash coming. If not, then you will get hit. So you have to be watching for that. We'll probably reduce the chance for that then, because that became quite powerful. You can always improve the animation when you're done with the mechanic. There you go. I need to eat before these streams. Jeez. Okay, that's still quite common. When you make a powerful move like that, you want to reduce the... Reducing how often it is will reduce the difficulty. I need to... That dodge... I bet the player is getting stunned, and it's affecting the... Hold on. If so, I didn't know I didn't know about that bug. The dashes are a lot more clear now. Yeah. I'm going to try to dodge. Oh wait, no. That's why. I need adrenaline first. I've been noticing sometimes my dodge gets like really good range. And so I've got to figure out why that is. I'm going to make a note for that bug. It just feels, I can't confirm it, but it feels like it. All right. Hey yo, howdy Olivia. Welcome to the stream. Maybe it's a little too uncommon now. I think it might be too uncommon. I could have just had a run of bad luck with the one. It's the trouble with randomization. Luck plays a factor into it. Like there, it feels like it was a lot more common there. Alright, not too bad. Now another thing I want to do, I'm not going to do it right now, but the lerping is very smooth, especially towards the end. The whole point, the reason I have the low lerping is they will be jumping when they do it. Probably, maybe a little bit. But, also it seems like you can hit them when they're dashing. We might want to not allow that. Okay, let's try that as well. Because you can stun them while they're dashing. I think I just did it to where they couldn't do it while they was telegraphing it. But we don't want them to do it while they're dashing either. So, can stun. And not state equals states dot dash, I believe it was. Dash. This game going to be on Mac? Yes. It'll be on the all the Macs, Linux, and Windows. Beautiful work. Do you unit test your games? Or do you think it's overkill for any projects? I don't unit test, but I don't think it's overkill either. Unit testing is the whole thing. It's a way of verifying like how good your stuff runs, like error checking and stuff. It's a lot more difficult. I'm taking more damage, and right now I'm not trying to not take damage. I'm trying to verify that the stun on dash thing is fixed, and I think it is. I'm gonna say it is, but I can tell when they're dashing, and I have a chance to react to it. It's not too long, I don't think. Not too short. I feel like I'm also taking more damage from regular attacks, which it feels like it has increased a lot of difficulty, and I'm curious about how much. It almost feels like it's not right. Like maybe I should increase the telegraphing on the regular attack as well. But I'd say it feels a lot more fun to play. It still needs a bit of tweaking though, I think, but I think we're at a good spot. How long have you been working on this project? Ever since late August, I think, or early August? Somewhere around August. Late June, I think. If you look at the devlogs, not the devlogs, the streams, there's a playlist of streams on my home channel, and I streamed the first day, like the prototyping of this, and that would be the very first day. Like I was like, I'm gonna make a game, and I live streamed it. How do you do the dropping system for items? Depends on what you mean exactly. Like the actual dropping the items, or like how do I pick which items to drop, or the pickup mechanic? I'm not sure what you mean. Since you're a patron, Olivia, I can make a project that will demonstrate that. I'll make a one here soon about the pickup system, the collectible system. I don't think I have that one yet, so expect one for that. I'll go ahead and make a note for that. Yeah. I'll make a collectible project for patrons. And about inventory, inventory is still very much in the works. I wouldn't expect an inventory one for a while. There's bugs and everything like that. I don't want to make a project until I've cleared out all the bugs and everything until I'm comfortable pushing it. So that's why there's not an inventory one yet. Okay, I think that's good. Still need some tweaking. I'll do that off stream. Looks good though. I like it. It's a lot more fun to play. Skeletons are a lot more challenging. Probably need to increase that attack telegraph time because I feel like I'm getting hit when I don't expect it out of basic attacks now, which is interesting. And I'm thinking that's because of the stun locking fix that we did. So I'm also going to take a look at that. Yeah. And then I'm also going to work on a bit on more on the map editor stuff. Still a lot of stuff I want to do, like creating areas, like transition stuff. Like I said, I want to do a seamless world where you can travel over everything, but I still want to have some like interiors and stuff, so I have to do the transition areas for those. And I'm thinking the town, at least for the demo, is going to be its own scene, so that I can change it up. However, so yeah, more work on that as well. Appreciate y'all for coming by the stream. We got it done, I reckon. It wasn't the best, but we got it done. It's a good improvement though. Good improvement. Y'all take it easy.